What's up, guys? This is Mark Andrews coming at you live and local real quick. I have heard this phrase before stated that in the Hall of Fame, there's a whole lot of people who were of just average talent, but because they had a spirit of excellence, they were then granted entry into this prestigious Hall of Fame. And I'm going to delve into that today. So let's get into it, guys. An excellent spirit, or a spirit of excellence, if you want to call it that. And I'm going to tell you about having a spirit of excellence and what it's going to do for you. A spirit of excellence is something that you cultivate within yourself, where everything you do in your life, you just do it to the nth degree, dude. You just nail it. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's easier said than done, all right? There's going to be a lot of generalization, and I don't have really all the time in the world to account for every caveat here. So just understand, read between the lines with me, okay? So let me give you two examples. Example one, you wake up every morning, you slept 6 hours, you slept 4 hours, 3 hours, you slept like shit. You get out of bed, you go over, maybe, you eat a bagel, no toast on it, no butter, no nothing. Put your clothes on, drive to work, mad tired. You have a gross day at work. Then you come home, you get maybe in an argument with somebody cuts you off on the road, whatever happens on the way home, it pisses you off. Then you get home, the Wi-Fi's out, your ex texts you, talking about she misses you, he misses you, whatever. Now you're sad, now you're annoyed, now you're depressed, now you're tired, and guess what, you're hungry. So you go in the kitchen, you eat some BS, you eat whatever leftovers you had from the night prior, maybe a Big Mac or something like that. Hey, I'm not a hater. I'm a McDonald's fanboy, all right? Let's say all that stuff happens. You come home, now you have a terrible night. Now you go to bed terrible. You wake up terrible, and the cycle continues. Example number two. You sleep 8 hours. You wake up, you drink a full bottle of water. You take a couple of lion's mane mushrooms. They're really good, I think. You have a reasonable breakfast. You're gonna do a little bagel with butter, a little bit of fruit, something like that. Or you don't have breakfast, you fast. Just as good. You drive to work, you're awake, you're really on top of things, you're doing what you got to do, you're doing what you got to get done. You get a little bit of recognition from management. Hey, that's always nice, ain't it? Especially us 9-to-5ers. Then, you drive home, someone cuts you off, and you're like, hey, they're probably just doing whatever. They're just lost or something. They're dickheads. Who cares? Not a big deal. All right? You don't care because you're on a high horse from having a great day at work, as you should be. You get home, you say, hey, it's nice enough out today. Let's go for a walk. You walk half a mile, you come back in, you have a pretty good dinner. Hey, I feel good enough to cook. What do you want to do? Steak and eggs? Something like that. Reasonable meal. Then you go to bed feeling great. You're full, you stopped eating after 6, you're not going to bed rancid. Don't go to bed full, by the way, it's bad for you. Now, I said both of those examples so that I can illustrate how things spread. You probably picked up on that because you guys are intelligent, okay? You really are. And I'll tell you what, look, you start one nasty habit, one bad thing. Now, they're going to happen because we're human, so just understand what I'm saying here. You start one nasty habit, and it spreads to the next bit of your day, and then it spreads to the next bit of your day. Now, before you know it, it starts spreading from your day to your life. That's what you don't want, and that's what's very dangerous, and that's how people get into very negative mindset, a victimhood mindset. And guess what? The more you get into those things, the more you'll attract it. You have to understand the law of attraction. You have to understand the power of that sort of thing, because I know it seems like esoteric, but it's more human than you actually think. But there's something to be said about attracting negativity. Now, on the flip side, when I talked about the positive bit, you see how that positivity is subject to the same law of spreading as the negativity. Now, you, if you're like me, are a human, not a raccoon, you're not a dolphin, and you're not a sea lion. They don't have to think. We do. As a human, your brain has a negativity bias because the negativity is where the danger is at, and the danger is death to our brain. Do you know what I'm saying? So the brain is always on the lookout for that negative stuff. It's okay, because if you can recognize that fundamental truth, you can mitigate it when it comes up, okay? Just make it a part of your thinking. But the brain's got that negativity bias, and because it has that negativity bias, it's going to look out for danger. Danger is any negativity, right? And now what ends up happening is, if you're not able to recognize when those times are coming, when your brain is being a little bit overreactive, then it's very dangerous, because you can get into, like I said, that negative lifestyle. Now it's all coming to you. Now, the more negativity you have in your life, the more your demand for positivity will take place. Now, if you have an extremely negative life and you have a high demand for positivity, what you're going to actually end up doing is attracting what you think is positivity. Oftentimes it's not. It's cheap highs, right? You're smoking weed, which is, again, I'm not begrudging anyone, all right? It's legal here in Jersey. Don't end up seeking cheap highs like bullshit food, drugs, meaningless sex. After a while, you start to realize like that stuff is actually bringing you more negativity than you think. What ends up happening is, when that demand for positivity is high, if you're a negative person, you have a negative, life and outlook on life, you attract those cheap highs, cheap positivity. Now, people say that's like the physical part of it, like the smoking weed, the sex and all that. That's all physical stuff. What people don't talk about, the cheap fake positivity you attract, is this: exalting yourself over others who are either in your position or in a lower position, perceived. Apart from smoking weed and having sex, is that you start saying, I'm better than everyone, right? And the minute someone says something, you have to exalt yourself over that person, in the sense that you say, I make more money than you, I have this over you, I'm better than you in this way, that da 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 da. Do you know what that does to you? Do you realize what that does to you? And do you realize that there's a lot of folks out there that are smarter than you think? And the minute you start saying how great you are, and how brilliant you are, and all the things that you have, and how much better you are in any way than any other person, it doesn't have the desired effect that you think it does. It does not have that effect. The effect that it has is making it obvious to the outside world that you are insecure and you're seeking a cheap high. And you're seeking to put yourself over everyone because you're lacking in your life. Now, that's not me slapping you in the face for it, because I've been there. And the reason I'm able to talk about it is because I've been that person. And I'm going to tell you something. Please listen to this. If nothing else from this video you gain, hear me now. You can change. It is not set in stone. And guess what? It's okay to admit that you're like that. It's okay. Do you understand? You weren't aware of it. I'm here to make you aware of it. Okay? And if you don't believe me, that's okay. I don't blame you. Who's this random, Italian from Jersey talking on the internet on the top of a parking garage? Now, here's something. Now, I heard a gentleman the other day talk about this, and I thought this was awesome. Now, again, look, it's going to be a little bit corny, but at the end of the day, is it going to be etched on my gravestone that I cared? No. Here's an exercise we're going to do together. Close your eyes for a second. Really, actually do. It's not going to work if you don't close your eyes. All right, don't be ridiculous. So, close your eyes. Now imagine every bad habit that you have. Imagine every negative trait about yourself that you're aware of. Now extrapolate it 10 years. Imagine you're 10 years in the future. You've continued on every negative pathway that you're on right now. Imagine your life. Are you overeating? Well, maybe now you've got diabetes. Are you an angry person? Maybe now you've got a heart problem. We're 10 years in the future. And you might say to yourself, Lord, God, whoever, if only I could go back 10 years and change my situation now. Oh, what I would do for that. Now open your eyes. Now you're back here 10 years. What are you going to do with it? Positivity will spread just as much as negativity. The only thing is, it's much easier to spread negativity because the brain wants to, because the brain has to protect you from danger. Now, the brain's still in a primal era. That's when it's up to you. Look how beautiful it is out today, right? Go outside. Go for a walk. You have to understand that physical health is mental health, and all of that is spiritual health. Hey, what's up, brother? Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm just doing a video. No problem. Oh, it's closed. All right, folks, we're going to be leaving. Okay, so that happened. But yeah, I think we're going to end the video on that note. So look, seek positivity where you can. It will spread. That's the excellent spirit.